Hi, my name is Bob.
And I am Marlene Neufeld. And we're here to talk about revealing and concealing. So when you conceal something from somebody close to you, you withdraw. And it may be very slight, but there's still some sort of barrier that comes up.
It is something that I will notice.
I may not know why or what the content is, but there's something I'll feel. And when I withdraw, I make up a story. I project that you're not safe.
And you'll notice, in doing so, distance happens between us. And this is a cycle that goes round and round and round, and distance starts happening like this. There's a disconnection.
The more I conceal, the more I withdraw, the more I project, the more I conceal. We once had a couple who came to see us their youngest son had just left home, and they realized they had nothing left to talk about with each other.
So they had home businesses, so they were always in the house together. Very different parts of the house, mind you, but something was really, really wrong.
And they realized that they had a whole bunch of things that they had concealed from each other, way back all the way to when they first got together.
So it was about 25 to 30 years of it. And now they noticed there was nothing there.
And there was a wall, a big wall. In fact, that was the image they used, is that there was a big wall between them.
And we thought, this is a very good image, actually, because they said, it's such a big wall.
There's so many bricks. And we shared about revealing, and they said, well, where do we start?
And we said, any brick, pull it out of the wall. Any brick, you take your choice.
It doesn't matter, because once they started revealing, the whole wall started tumbling down. About 6 months later, we saw them from a distance at a cultural event, and there was this wonderful hand behind the shoulders, gentle connection between them. We could tell that they had broken down their wall.
So, when do you reveal? And here's our old rule. It's one that I use a lot. This has come up 3 times in a row. I need to tell Marlene. And that could be anything.
So he might start by saying, I've had this thought 3 times, which means I have to tell you. And it's sort of helpful when he does that, because I can prepare a little bit. On the other hand, I don't use that rule so much. For me, the rule is more, if I think I can't tell you, then I must tell you. So, what needs to be revealed?
Well, first of all, facts need to be revealed. Facts like, I did this.
Or I didn't do this.
I bought that.
I didn't keep my agreement.
That's a big one, because when we break our agreements, we often say, I know I've broken the agreement. Oh, I feel bad about that. But you need to say, I broke that agreement.
Yeah. The second thing that needs to be revealed is feelings.
It'll be something like, I'm still angry about this.
Or I notice that I'm scared.
So it's something that we do regularly now, but it's still something we need to say. What am I feeling now? I haven't told her. Another thing is fantasies. Fantasies can be a whole lot of things. It might be, I saw so-and-so and, I had a sexual fantasy about that person.
Or it could be as simple as, I've been fantasizing about going on a trip. The whole thing is facts, feelings, fantasies. 3 simple things that need to be revealed to keep your relationship fresh.
So next, how do you receive?
Well, how do you reveal, first of all?
Well, how do you...
yeah,
right. So how do you reveal? Well, frankly, a lot of times it's blurt.
Right. So especially if you've been concealing or holding on to something for maybe 2 or 3 times, it's going to come out with some energy. And rather than package it up and wait for the perfect time. We tend to advocate just get it out, blurt.
On 50 years of relationship together, we've had some pretty dramatic blurts, and some of them have been shocking blurts. But we believe, with all of this experience, it's good to get it out.
It's worth it. Now, as soon as possible, if you've blurted something, especially if it had quite an impact, if you can take healthy responsibility for what you've done. In other words, own what's going on. Describe it in what we call an unarguable way, or what some people still use the term microscopic truth.
And a lot of that has to do with, I have these sensations which are in my body. It's a good place to start.
Or there's some energy from the past this thing reminded me of, and so that energy is feeding into what's going on for me. We often use the term, I'm making up a story. So that's helpful if you are going to say something. If it comes out as a blurt, as soon as possible you can go, okay, just a minute, let me see if I can step back and get a little bit more clear, a little bit more unarguable.
Blurts often go like that, right? But if I can very quickly go, all right, wow, I need to own what's going on here. What's my 100% here?
You're not going to be perfect. It's better to get it out than to hold it in because you haven't packaged it enough. So, how do you receive a reveal? Well, there used to be this phrase that went around the Hendricks community, conceal, reveal, no big deal. And that's absolutely fantastic. If you can receive your partner's revealing as no big deal, then it's all gone. It's done.
One of the problems is that sometimes it is a big deal, particularly reveals which have been packaged back there for quite a while. They come out with a fair bit of energy, and defensiveness tends to show up.
So remember the fear responses. There's lots and lots of information on the Hendricks websites about the fear responses. The fight response of fear may come out as a defensiveness. The flight response of fear may come out with distraction, no response.
Tell a joke.
The freeze, that's my favorite. If he would reveal something, I would freeze, and then I would go off and it would mull around and mull around and mull around.
Incidentally, I know totally exactly what's going on because I look at it and say, oh, no, she's frozen. And I know that it takes some time to unfreeze. Of course, we have that wonderful process for that. For me, it's faint. It's like, I'm falling on the floor, can't think right now, don't know what's going on. Anyway.
So, if you notice a fear response, a fight, flight, freeze, or faint, there's lots and lots of information about how to do fear melters, how to add a little drop of love, how to forgive yourself, forgive your partner, recommit.
I think that's the big thing, to recommit, and you say, okay, this has happened. How can I recommit to bringing us closer together?
You may need to find something that will help you repair. Sometimes touch, eye contact. The 10-minute heart talk is a really great tool. Sometimes, you can do I'm making up a story that
you're making up a story that you're angry.
And I'll just laugh because it's not accurate at all.
Right.
And then you'll laugh and it's done.
It's done.
And other times...
And frankly, it's not about solving the problem as much as solving the connection. It's all about emotional relationship here. And after you do that, then you can look at whatever the problem is from a different point of view.
So, revealing is worth it.